I'm Debbie Stillman. I'm in for Mary Bell Nyman tonight. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate having you. So just take a couple nice deep breaths. Get comfy in your space. You can close your eyes, signaling to your body that you are turning your attention inward. So just make sure you're in a nice comfy space. A place where you can relax. No place to be, nothing to do for this next hour. So let's start out with, I know Mary's been teaching some tools, some energy tools over the last few weeks. And so let's start out with making that connection to Mother Earth. So you can find that place at the base of your spine. You could just look down your spine and see that, put a big red X there, and then continue looking on down, all the way down to the center of the earth. You can put a big red X there, and then connect those two red X's, so that you're making a connection from the base of your spine all the way down to the center of the earth. And you can anchor it in there somewhere. You can use an anchor. You could tie it down. It could section to stay in place. Maybe it clicks in. However you see that is just fine. And then allow that connection to expand. And so it's as big around as your hips. And that connection can look like anything you'd like. It could look like a beam of light. It could be a waterfall, a rope, a tube, a pipe, however you envision that is the right way for you to have it. And so making that nice connection. And then just let your body release any energy it's ready to let go of down your grounding cord. We get an assist from gravity. And so really just using your intention to release it, we'll just allow it to flow all the way down the grounding cord. If you had somebody cut you off driving earlier today, you can just let that energy go down the grounding cord. Maybe you got into a little argument or got a little angry about something. Just release whatever of that energy is remaining in your space. Just let it go down the grounding cord. A lot of times we kind of get over it, but we just have that little piece still kind of causing a little static out in the aura. And just letting it go. No reason to hold on to it. Nothing to change, nothing to redo. And just have another nice deep breath. And you can notice that aura space around you. I believe Mary talked about the aura last week. And if you weren't here or you aren't aware, an aura is an energy field that surrounds your body. Everybody has one. And it's in this energy field that we can pick up other people's energies. And other people's energy just doesn't feel good in our space. And so just releasing it, letting it go, allowing it to go down to the center of the earth. And the universe will recycle that energy and send it right back to the person that it came from. And so just notice that aura field around you. Notice where it's at. Usually the aura is about 18 to 24 inches around the body, all the way around 360 degrees over your head, under your feet. And so just kind of notice where yours is at. If you've been running all over, maybe you've done a whole bunch of errands today, a lot of things to do. It could be that your aura's spread all over. And if that's true, you can just call it in. Call it back to yourself, call it in. Or if you notice that it's a little packed, it's a little close, you don't have much space, you can allow it to expand just a little bit or just a lot, depending on what works for you. You might notice a color or two in your aura. Which is great. If it's a color that feels good, wonderful. If it doesn't, you can just allow it to flow right down your grounding cord. Just release it. You can decide what color you'd like your aura to be. And just using your intention, change it to that color. It's kind of a fun thing to play with, to change it different colors and see how that feels. See what the impact of that is on your physical body. We're going to talk tonight about healing masters, about guides in general. We have spirit guides that that work with us, that agree to work with us. We often choose them before we take a physical body. And it's part of the agreement that we have with them that they will help us. They will help us in our in this incarnation. and help guide us. Sometimes some people are sometimes aware of these guides in different ways. You know, I don't know why I turned left. I meant to turn right. But I avoided some unpleasant thing in doing so. Or I felt like someone guided me to take this class, or that I was guided to take a class, to do an activity, to meet a person. Some people live their whole lives without being aware of any spirit guides, and yet they're there to assist if they can. One of my favorite stories is many years old now. An invisible friend is another spirit guide working with a child. Many years ago now, there was a pretty bad accident in Boulder, and a van was broadsided. Pretty bad. There was a little girl in the van. I think she was 6 or 7, some age like that. And fortunately, she was sitting on the other side of the van from where it got broadsided, although she started out the drive on the side that got hit. And when they asked her parents, or somebody asked her why she moved, and she said, my invisible friend told me to. So I moved seats. And a few minutes later, the car got hit. Those youngsters, they can kind of hear that often a little easier than we can, because, you know, as adults, we know better, right? Or we're so busy, our brains are so busy that we just can't hear it. So part of what we're going to do tonight is we're going to play with that a little bit. Have a nice deep breath. So if you work with a guide already, if you work with a spirit guide already, when we do this exercise, you can work with your existing guide if you'd like. If you'd like to call in a different guide, you're welcome to do that as well. Most of us have 2 or 3. They might play different roles. In the spirit world, there's no time and no space. You've probably heard that a few times. And so there are certain things that you can only learn in a physical space, in a universe with time and space, such as our delightful planet Earth here. And so these guides enjoy working with us, enjoy working with someone in a body, because it allows them to have that experience. It allows them to work on whatever they're working on that needs to be done in this 3D environment. And so they're very happy to work with us. They're very pleased, honored even. These guides that we work with, they have had physical bodies before. They've had lifetimes on the planet, although probably not in at least 50 years, somewhere between 50 and 100 years, probably. They are not animals. And it's typically not any of the headliners, like Jesus and Buddha and those guys and girls, because they tend to work with us on a much higher level, on a planetary level, or on the level of the human race or civilization that way, as opposed to with individual people. Have a nice deep breath. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to notice a space out in front of you, maybe a couple feet out in front of you, or a foot or so out in front of your aura. And you could take a Kleenex or a piece of paper or something and put on the floor on that spot. We're going to create a landing pad. So an area for these beings to come in and stand before you. And so either take, like I said, a Kleenex, a piece of paper or something, lay it down and mark that spot. Or you can just see it in your mind's eye if you would prefer. And now I'd like you to reach out to that place where you put out that Kleenex, that place you created, that landing pad, and just kind of move your arm through that, your hand and your arm through that space, and just feel that space. There's nothing there. This is a comparison we're going to do. And so if you want to just physically reach out, check out that space, see what it feels like. Take another nice deep breath. Actually, take two nice deep breaths. Just allowing your mind to get quieter, allowing your body to get quieter, and to be even more relaxed. And ask this being, your healing guide or healing master, to come in and land in that place that you designated. Land on that landing pad that you created for them. And then using your intuition with your eyes closed, just notice what you notice about them. Typically, these guides will show up in one of three forms. It might be like an orb of light. It might be in a valence. Usually, typically looking like they did in the lifetime that you knew them. It might just be a color or kind of a wisp. You can send a hello to your healing master, just telepathically say hello. And notice what the reaction is. You can ask this guide for their name and how they know you or what the connection is to you. Our guides are usually someone that we've had a past life with. And I'd like you to reach out again across that landing pad and feel the energy of that area now. You can just physically extend your arm out into that space and just feel that and notice if it's different than when you did that earlier. It might be warm or cool or denser or lighter or just different. It may just feel different. I can't define it, but it's not the same. And so this is the energy of your healing master. These guys typically hang out on the astral planes when they're not here, not working with you. Our joke always is that it's the Star Wars bar, of course. And so I'd like you to tell your healing master it was great to meet them. Thanks for coming in. You can go back up to the astral. And we're going to call you back in a few minutes. And so just notice if there's a shift in your space with your healing master gone. He wasn't in your space, but he was close, he or she. And a healing master is just that, a master. It's not male or female. As spirit, we're asexual. And so, but our healing masters may show up as one or the other because it's a way that we will recognize them in a way that we might be comfortable. They'll always show up in a way that we can be comfortable with. So I'd like you to take another couple more nice deep breaths. And notice that you still have your grounding cord, that you still have that connection to the center of the earth. And sometimes when we work with energy and work with these healing masters and other things, we can stir up a little energy. And so just allow yourself to release anything that's come up. Just let it go down your grounding cord. Any kind of that distraction energy or lack of permission, anything like that, just release it down your grounding cord. All the questions about whether it's real or not, just let them fall down your grounding cord. And then you can have the experience and you can decide for yourself. I certainly know the answer for me. So your healing master is available to you 24/7. All you have to do is call them and they will come and help. It's important for you to know that you are always senior to your healing master. You always get to decide. You are the one that's in control. And if you've been working with Mary on these Saturday night meditations or doing some meditative or spiritual work in other ways, you're likely aware that one of the things that we strive to do, at least, is to move other people's energies out of our space. And so the same is true for the healing master. We want your healing master to not be in your space. They don't need to be to work with you. And so that's just one of the rules that you'll have in this relationship. Another one would be that your healing master will work only with you. So the only person that they will work with on this level is you. It's kind of an exclusive agreement, so to speak. So have another nice deep breath. Again, just allowing your mind to go quiet, allowing your body to be quiet. Just having a little fun, a little experience. And ask your healing master to come back in and land in that same spot they did before. So just standing out in front of you a couple feet. Again, you can notice their appearance. And if you're not sure that you notice anything, that's okay. If you continue to work with them, it'll get more clear as time goes on. Sometimes it's like I know they're there, but I don't really see anything. That's all right. Go with the knowing they're there. And you can just take a minute to have a little communication with your healing master. In case you didn't get a name before, you could ask for that. And if you're not certain what your relationship is with this being, you could ask for that. The first healing master I worked with, it took me several weeks to understand what the relationship was. I'm sure the being was communicating it, I just wasn't getting it. But I did. I continued to work with them, and then I did. Tell this being, this healing master, the couple rules that we talked about, that in this relationship you'll be senior. In this relationship, they'll work only with you. And that they'll stay out of your space. Ask this guide, this healing master, if they have any communication for you. And you can say, okay, buddy, enough chit chat, time to get to work. Ask your healing master to give you a healing. And if there's any place specific you would like them to work, you can ask them to communicate that. This particular guide, this healing master, will work at an energetic level. And typically in a healing will work a lot in your aura space. So give yourself permission to have this terrific healing. Relax a little more. let your healing master go to work and notice what you notice. You may notice certain areas where energy is moving. You may have a physical reaction, a pleasant one, hopefully. But whatever that is, just have that experience. And I'll give you a couple minutes for them to give you a healing. They work very fast. Have your healing master finish up the healing and fill you in with a big golden sun. They can call all your energy back into that golden sun and whatever else would be replenishing and nourishing and validating for you. And just allow them to do that for you. You can just be in receiving mode. After your healing master has filled you in with the gold sun, you can thank them very much. Send them back up to the astral. It is Saturday night after all. And just for a minute, just absorb your healing. Healing masters are great guides to work with. Like I said, they're available 24/7. If you, for example, are having trouble sleeping, you could call in your healing master and ask for some assistance in moving out any energy that's keeping you awake. You can ask your healing master to help you be grounded if you're having trouble with that. When we get in stressful situations, we can be ungrounded, which doesn't help. Kind of adds to the stress. And so again, a healing master could come in and help you be grounded and be more present to deal with whatever the stressful situation is. Get in a fight with your ex, ask your healing master for a healing. Wake up crabby and ask your healing master for a healing. And again, they're very quick. You know, energy just moves very easily, and they're very quick, so it happens very quickly. So you can have fun with this relationship. You can also have whatever communication you'd like. You can ask questions. You can have your healing master just come and stand in front of you like we did a couple times here this evening, and have some communication. And as you work with them more and more, that communication gets stronger and stronger and clearer and clearer. It's all in the practice. Have another nice deep breath. Nice big exhale. You may notice where the healing master worked when you got the healing. You can even send your healing master off to help others. Often if I hear a siren, an emergency vehicle, and I ask my healing master to go do whatever he can do. He can ground the situation. If there's other assistance that can be provided, terrific. You can send your healing master to give someone else a healing. They may decline it, which is fine. And if they do, then of course the healing master won't do that. And that would all be spirit level communication. You could say, please, Lord, please, healing master, give my boss a healing. I can't stand it. And so your healing master could ask your boss on a spirit level, would you like a healing? Often the answer is yes, but not 100% of the time. And then maybe things will be a little better tomorrow or this afternoon or whatever. You can have a little fun with your healing master as always in this energy work, those vibrations of amusement and enthusiasm are where we get the most information, where we're able to move the most energy and have that communication. So have some fun. Put one more big golden sun above your head, at least twice the size of your body. And just use it to call back all your energy, any place you may have left it. Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter why, doesn't matter with whom. Just call it all back to you in present time. You can put some validation in your golden sun, showing up here on a Saturday night. And having a little courage. It takes a little courage to try something new, to try something different. And you did, so congratulate yourself. You could put some permission in your gold sun, some permission to work with your healing master throughout the week, some permission to have some fun, to have some communication. And then put a whole bunch of amusement in your gold sun, because we really just take things far too seriously most of the time. It's not as serious as you thought. These lifetimes are like, little plays, right? It's just another act in the play. If it didn't go the way you thought was perfectly, that's okay. There's another act coming. Whatever else you'd like to have in your golden sun, please fill it in. Put it in there. Give it to yourself. What could you give to yourself that would be nurturing and loving and supportive? What would that be? And just splurge. Give it to yourself. When you're giving to yourself, don't hold back. Go big. And you can pop that golden sun and allow that energy to just flow into your body, right through the top of your head. Just filling you in all the way from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Filling in with your own life force, with your own desires. With all that's good for you. And allow that golden sun just to expand out into your aura. So your entire space is filled in with that beautiful golden sun energy. Your entire body, your entire aura. And when you're completely filled in, you can open your eyes if you'd like and stretch.